done all things, terrible things, not stinted on the things he's done. And here he is frightened to grant the kindest of mercies. The man looks at the child in dismay, and the child looks back at him. He loosens his grip on her and takes out his knife. A lantern dips and flares in the doorway, and here's the nurse. An ex-lag with a few years on her and a lame leg, clean of garb but not of mouth, used to bad business. Likes it, even. The others behind like her personal guard, 2 men, neckerchiefs up around their faces. Odd birds, elbows tucked in, heads swivelling, light stepping, listening, blinking. With every step, they expect an ambush. "Don't touch her," the nurse says to him. "Get away from her." The man looks up, hesitates, and the child bites him, a nip of surprising sharpness. He pulls his hand away in surprise and sees a line of puncture holes, small but deep. The nurse pushes past him to the side of the bed, glancing at his hand. "You'll regret that, my tulip." She makes a show of pulling on fine chainmail gloves and unhooks the restraints that hold the child to the bed, dressing her in a harness of strong material, one limb at a time, buckling the child's arms across her chest, lashing her legs together. The child lunges, open-mawed. The man stands dazed, flexing his hand. Red lines track from palm to wrist to elbow. The teeth marks turn mulberry, then black. He twists his forearm and presses his skin, sweat beading on his forehead, his lip. What kind of child bites like this, like a rat? He imagines her venom. He feels it coursing through him from arm to heart, lungs to bowels, fingertips to feet. A blistering poison spreads, a sudden fire burning itself out as it travels. Then the lines fade, and the marks dull to no more than pinpricks. All the time the creature watches him, her eyes darkening. A trick of the lamplight, surely. 2 eyes of polished jet, their surfaces flat, so strangely flat. The nurse is speaking low, standing back to direct. "Roller, bagger, make haste, watch your mouth." They wrap the child in canvas, a staysail to make a hammock of sorts. The man, manipulating his arm, examining the pinpricks, suddenly finds himself beyond words. He makes a sound, a vowel sound, followed by a string of gargled consonants. He drops to his knees, like one devotional, and falls backwards onto the hearthrug. He would scream if he could, but he can only reach out. He lies gasping like a landed catch. From the floor, he watches the 2 men lift the bundle between them. They move with deliberation, as if underwater. The nurse limps over, lantern in hand, and looks down at the man. Her diagnosis? He is in a bad way, face as grey as his county crop. Not old, but already life waned. And now this. He begins to sob. The nurse could sob too for the loss of a good thief, the kind who'd abstract the teeth from your head without the opening of your mouth. She kneels with difficulty. "Close your eyes, lad," she whispers. "It will help me no end." Trussed in a canvas hammock, she's no weight, but the 2 men would carry a far heavier burden with greater ease. Of course they'd humoured the nurse, heard her stories in the tavern with a few inside them, but they see it now, in the child, as she said they would, all kinds of wrong. What of the man fallen? They balked to touch him after. The carrying of him would be worse than the leaving of him, and they feel the leaving keenly. The child swings swaddled between them, big-eyed in the lantern dimmed. Oh, they see it now, in her. By the time they reach the landing, the men are sweating with the effort of not dashing her head against the wall. One would shoot her through the eye in a heartbeat. The other would cut her throat in a blink. At the top of the stairs, they are in danger of hurling her down.